Hi, I'm Al, and I'm here to introduce to you the brand new Summit Racing Engine Oil Preluber Kit. Now this combo kit, it is everything you need to get that late model LS, the Ford modular motor, or the Chrysler Hemi engine all ready to go to be fired up for the first time. Now those classic engines, like the Ford Windsor motor, the oil pump was actually driven off the distributor, and you can go ahead and turn over that oil pump by hand, getting the oil throughout the engine. On these late model motors like this GM LS engine here, there is no way to turn that oil pump over by hand to get the engine oil throughout the engine prior to your first startup. That's where this thing comes in handy. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through all the steps that you need to know to be able to get the engine oil throughout this engine, so that way there's no wear and tear on any of the parts prior to startup. Let's get going. So the first step in pushing oil throughout our engine and getting our engine ready to run for the first time is that we're going to go ahead and put 4 quarts of oil into our engine. Now the GM LS3 takes 8 quarts of oil, 4 quarts in there, 4 quarts in our Summit Racing Engine Oil Pre-Lube Kit. Goes right into the filler hole here, tighten it down. This comes with a gasket. You just want to make sure that it's sealed tightly. Next, we're going to take just standard shop air, put it into the Schrader valve here, and charge it up to 100 pounds of pressure. You do not want to go over 120 pounds of pressure. It'll likely damage both the engine as well as your engine pre-lube kit. So we can go ahead and put this on the ground and start to pump up our pre-luber. What's really nice is that this thing has 6 feet of hose to make it really easy to leave on the ground in one spot and connect to our engine. So let's go ahead, apply some air, and we can push the oil throughout the engine. Now that we have everything hooked up, we have the hose hooked up to our engine, we have our tank pressurized, we also remember we have 4 quarts of oil in the engine already, we have another 4 quarts in our tank here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to crack this valve here, open a little bit. While we do that, we want to rotate the engine over so that way all the oil passages get opened up as the engine rotates over, and all the oil will get pushed throughout the engine. So let's go ahead and start to do that. Put that on the floor right there. I'm going to turn over the engine slowly. That way the oil gets pushed, like I said, throughout the entire engine, through all of the oil passages. So now that we have all of the oil out of the tank and into our engine, I've shut the valve off so that way no more air pushes into the oil passages and pushes all that oil right out of the oil passages, because that's what we don't want. There's a little bit of air left inside the tank here. Instead of getting oil all over your shop or anything like that, we have a nice little valve here that opens up, and we can release the air pressure out of the tank, and there's a filter here, again, so the oil doesn't get all over your shop, everything stays nice and clean. So we're all finished here, we're about ready to start this thing up. We can easily unhook this thing and put this to the side, knowing with confidence that our engine has oil throughout the entire engine. We're not going to get a dry startup, and we're not going to damage anything. Now, if you have any other further questions about engine oils or engines, LS engines in particular, please feel free to leave a question in the comments section below. Remember to hit subscribe to stay up to date on our latest quick fix videos, and be sure to watch some of our other Summit Racing videos. Thanks for watching.